This week's headlines. Sarge is an angry, miserable wombat. Tane is an angry, miserable wombat also. Holden's dead. Yay. And we think Marley loves Lacey. Pass it on.
Lacey, look at me. I need you to understand what has to happen now. I have to arrest you.
What?
I'm sorry, I don't have a choice. We need to formally interview you. And that cannot happen here. So I need to read you your rights. I'm with you every step of the way. You ready? Lacey Miller, I'm arresting you on suspicion of the murder of Holden Dwyer. You do not have to say anything, but anything you do say could be used in evidence against you.
We are Si and Sophie. This is Coastal News, a home and away podcast, your weekly episode companion podcast for your favourite Aussie soap.
You prepared to accept your limitations, Sophie?
Oh, I'm very prepared. I'm very limited.
What was it? Minimum doom, maximum...
Something or other.
Minimum effort, maximum doom or something. Who knows? Who knows? Anything before Thursday is wiped because that's when it kicked off.
Oh,
how are you? You okay?
Did. I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I tell you, this week has gone in the blink of an eye.
It has.
Don't know what's happened.
Thank God.
No, well, yeah, that.
Yes.
But we're soon back at it. Back at it. How's it been for you this week, home and away?
I have enjoyed it, actually. More so the end of the week where the high drama. I texted you, didn't I? Because I think I watched Thursday's episode early, and I sent you a message. I was like, oh my God, the drama in the last 10 minutes or so. I'm loving it. And then I think I got your hopes up because you were like, this better be good. And I was like, uh-oh. And then you did text me back and you were like, okay, yeah, this is good. I was like, phew. Oh, I'm glad it's not just me. So, yeah, no, it's been a good week. Yeah.
That was a massive twist on that episode you're talking about. I was unaware that was happening.
I was.
You?
And I was shooketh by the cliffhanger that we were left on because I didn't see it coming. And also it was a Thursday. And I was like, but it's a Thursday. We're going to find out tomorrow what happened to him. And because that's normally like a Friday thing for us, isn't it? And then you're over the weekend, you're like, is he dead? Is he not dead? But it was the Thursday night. I had to check my diary. I was like, is it really Thursday? And he's dead. Or not dead. We're not sure. Cliffhanger.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah. One death a month.
Yes.
We were messaging you. We said we're going to have to. We had poor Remi down for April, so we're going to float into May. This is great news for Remi. Maybe he survives.
It could. His chances are better now, aren't they? Because we were surmising there was going to be another death before. Well, we thought before Easter. It's not long after Easter, actually, is it? But he's looking hopeful now. He might pull through because now we've had a body. We might not need another one for a bit. Never know.
And obviously, we've got quite a few repercussions from this, which we'll come on to, I'm sure.
Yes.
But of course, we finish the week with this long-awaited, mucho anticipadoed Brax and Ricky thing. What's your first thoughts?
This is not
reaction.
This is not the Brax I remember, was my first initial. I mean, I kind of was expecting that from the pictures that we saw, because obviously we've seen, it's been everywhere, isn't it? You've not been able to miss it, really. The pictures of them coming back, their return, the hype around it. I have seen pictures of him wearing a cowboy hat, so I was texting you going, what's with the cowboy hat and the get-up? I'm not sure about this.
And the boot cut, yeah, we were a bit...
It was a bit, and I have to say, what a dramatic entrance to the return of Brax and Ricky. It was very dramatic, no matter what I think of it. It was a super dramatic return. The scenery, the cattle running, the mopeds and whatever they had that they were riding on. It was a super dramatic return. It just wasn't very Brax, and I was a bit like, what? I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. What about you?
It was strange. It felt a bit weird, but because Brax was bored board shorts, no nonsense, sort of rough and ready, wasn't he? This looks like he's sort of got a nice little family rural life and loving it. It was just odd. The dirt bike was hilarious. I've got to say, I did laugh. How much of it was me sort of nervousness coming out because I'm like, I've got a lot riding on this, or what? Just getting too into the show. But I was laughing a bit with him riding across the desert. It looks magnificent. I agree with you. I mean, it looks... WA is looking superb, and I'm so miffed I didn't win the bloody competition, I will say, looking at it.
Yeah.
And we've got loads to come, haven't we? So let's see how it unfolds. But yeah, my first reactions are, who is this? But then again, I'm like, you know what? Where's the last place I would look for Brax if he was wanted? It would be on a cattle ranch, I've got to say.
Exactly. If that's the point, if the whole point of it is we need to be somewhere where nobody's going to look for us, then well done, because that's the last place I would look for you.
I know.
Honestly.
I know.
Oh, so funny.
So we'll get into the nitty-gritty, but there's been a lot of reaction, hasn't there? A lot of people have been wanting this. It has made people sort of that perhaps have lapsed from the show in the last decade tune back in. There's been loads of chitter-chatter online about that, people wanting to see Brax again. He's undeniably popular, isn't he? Whatever you think of him, and we know it's polarizing, and I'm just so glad it's happening now. We have a podcast, because you and I have spoken for years now about how it would have been so fascinating to have had the pod during the Braxton era.
It would.
So yeah.
Yes.
Now we have our moment. We can have our moment. It's going to be good. Now, this is all very exciting, and obviously we've only just started on Friday's episode. It looking like next week's going to be a huge week for this. And so we've teamed up with our friend Tamsin again from Pop Goes the Tam Tam, haven't we? And next week, buckle up, people, and make a note of this. It's going to be a big week here at Coastal News. We have a big Brax and Ricky crossover episode coming out with Tamsin. We're going to be going through this big return that we're all talking about. The soap that doesn't do returns has dragged a character back from a decade ago. Oh my days. And talking about the old days, the Braxtons will do lots of chit chat about their story, their plots, how they got here today. It's going to be a good one. And as the three of us are massive long-term viewers, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So check out, that'll be with you next Saturday. Of course, everything else that's going on is so good right now. We can't really leave it, can we? So on Sunday, we're going to have an Any Other Business going on, coming out your way. So that'll be 2 main podcast episodes next week, plus your usual first look. Don't leave the house, don't make plans, because you haven't got time. That's all I'll say.
Well, they've been told.
Yes. Looking forward to it. Full details, if you want, on the website, coastalnewspod.com. Click on announcements or follow our social medias, which is Coastal News Pod. I felt like I had something else to announce as well, but I think that's the main news, isn't it?
If you did, it's news to me, I think.
I'm sure that is it. Yeah. Maybe. If it comes to me, I'll just spit it out. There we go.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about this week's Home and Away then?
Go on then.
While you're here.
I'm here now. I've got some clothes on. I'm ready.
I should think so.
Well, I'm usually in pyjamas. But I've actually got dressed today.
Full disclosure, I haven't. And I have actually just got like really big boxer shorts on. When you came on the call, I was closing the blind. Like, oh God, it is actually still light. Yeah.
You're flashing the neighbours. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh well. Please. They all
Lucky
want
neighbours.
it. I can see them luring after me.
If they're looking, then they, that's on them. That's all I'll say. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't help. I'm this irresistible. Right, anyway, Remi, he's struggling this week with his choices, isn't he, that he's got to make about basically life or death. Just to bring the tone down slightly from nude neighbour flashing. Look, he's also struggling with his symptoms, isn't he? He's got this backdrop of blurriness, can't control it's getting worse, isn't it? And it's symbolising that time is ticking. He doesn't have a lot of time. He can't even help Alf with his box because of this. He does apologise to Sonny, which I absolutely loved, and they sat down at the fire pit. I don't know what it is. I love the fire pit scene over at the share house,
Yeah.
Don't know why. Just, they're always really good scenes, aren't they? Good heart-to-hearts. And Sonny's asking him why he wouldn't do the surgery and, and all this stuff, and why has he declined it. And he says, his brain's who he is, and, if someone's in there messing about with that, that's, it's going to change it. That's who I am. That's my DNA, man. And Sonny, to his credit, given that they were both arguing for a week or so about all this, basically says to him, I don't want what this world's going to be like without you in it. And he begs him pretty much to get this operation, doesn't he? And this was just such a gorgeous moment, because I think I mentioned last week about how both of them, as a result of the train crash, ended up in this horrific situation. And we had these parallel reactions to having a life-changing news as a result of that crash. And they were both, dealing with it in very different ways and sort of showing us the audience. And we took that lesson on, didn't we, on the pod? We said, we're being told here, different ways of dealing with this kind of thing. But they've actually, in the end, I'm loving this sort of coming together at the end of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Am I getting soft in my old age?
No, I think these are really good scenes. I'm glad the fighting and the yelling and all of that sort of stuff has gone. We needed to get that out of our systems. I mean, let's face it, I can't believe that Remi is actually as cool-headed as he has been, I'll be honest, because when you think about, everyone keeps saying this is like a really rapidly growing tumour, it's like it's really aggressive, and you don't expect him. I know he's having seizures, and that seems to be for him one of the symptoms that he's mainly got. But normally when you get like the brain tumour storyline in a soap, it changes their personality dramatically as well, you know what I mean? So actually, I think it's been quite fortunate for him that he hasn't changed his personality drastically, although we have seen these outbursts from him. But I think that's perfectly normal. I think if you were faced with these options, as we keep calling them, but they're not really, are they? It's like you either die this way or you die that way. And you might live, there's a very small chance you might die on the operating table. There's a definite chance you'll die if you don't go on the operating table. It's not really an option, is it? It's terrifying either way. But I think the way that he's acting, the way that he's getting angry, and he's lashing out and he's smashing a glass, and he's like, you don't know what it feels like, and I'm going through this like hell in my head and trying to work out what the best thing to do is, and you're not in my shoes, you don't know how I feel. And I thought it's not an overreaction for any kind of illness of that severity, really. Because if you're told, whatever the illness is, if you're told you have an operation and you might die, or you don't have an operation and you die, you're going to be acting the way that he is. And he's got a condition that affects his brain. So to be honest, I think he's
Mm.
doing pretty well, Remi, in terms of like keeping a cool head. I don't think I'd be as
Yeah.
well, as good as he has been. And it's that
I
vulnerability, is
agree,
it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I actually think him sort of saying, "What's the point in this
Mm,
operation?" I think I'd be in the same place as him, I think I
yeah.
would.
It's believable, isn't it? Like you try. I mean, for God's sake, let's not try and put ourselves in his shoes. And really, I mean, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, like in real life.
Mm,
But you have to,
mm,
don't you? Have to kind of think, what would I do? And I think I'd be the same
yeah,
as him. Like I'd be cross, and I'd be like, why has this happened to me? And what a decision to make.
mm,
I'm damned if I do, if I'm damned if I don't. If I have the operation, it
mm,
doesn't go well. I'm not going to be me. And we talked about that last week. That the idea of not being able to dress yourself or bath yourself or feed yourself, or like, is it
yeah,
is it
yeah,
living? Are you better off dead? And that's a horrible thing to
mm,
like have to make a decision over. But then also when I'm thinking
mm,
about his condition, and what I'm finding really interesting, and nobody's really talking about it. I don't know whether you've seen anything on the forums and stuff. I've not seen anything on Twitter, but we're comparing John's situation when it comes to Sonny, and we're saying John's got all this experience with Jet, and Jet being in a wheelchair, and therefore he's been there for Sonny as kind of like the dad who's been there before with his son, and he's given the advice and stuff. But also, John had a brain tumor, and John
mm,
drastically changed. He became a fire starter, literally. He started the bushfire, didn't he, when they had that charity
mm,
event? He was a
mm.
Summer Bay
He did.
arsonist. He
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 was. Yeah,
and yet
yeah,
he doesn't know about Remi's condition because they've kept it so under wraps, and he's unfortunately John's not been there, has he? He's not seen the ambo turn up and not cart Remi away, but almost cart Remi away to hospital. So he doesn't know about Remi's condition, and arguably I'd say he's actually the best person to talk to, both from a study point of view and from a Remi point of view this time around, because he's been through both of these storylines himself,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he
Very, very good point.
he drastically changed his personality. I mean, yeah, he kind of changed into a different person, and then had no knowledge of the arsonist John. Do you remember Hoodie John, when we just saw like a black hoodie going
Yeah.
around setting fire to things? We hadn't
Loved
got a
it.
clue who it
Mhm.
was. And then it was like unmasked
Yeah.
as John, and we were like, what? It was insane. I mean, this was pre-pod, wasn't it? I didn't know you back then.
Yeah.
But I can imagine you watching it.
The
And me,
fun we'd have had.
oh yeah. I can imagine, like, now I'm thinking about Sai now and thinking, like, how would he react? And I can imagine you sitting there and watching it, and I think I'm probably going to be the same, because we're quite similar. So,
Mm,
but for
mm.
Remi to be as level-headed, I guess, as he has been when he's got this awful decision to make, I think he's doing really well. I'll be honest, giving him
Yeah,
all the credit
I
here.
concur. I really concur. This whole John thing and him having that understanding from a place of experience with the brain tumor is, I don't know what's going on. No one's talking about it.
Mm,
It's like we've all forgotten it happened. It's like the show aren't talking about it. The storyline isn't. And like I'm just hoping, because I think even a fleeting mention would satisfy me, right? But
yeah,
I think when John is, when you were saying, "Oh, is there a reason John needs to be out of the street and everything?" When he moved in with Leah and Justin, and I thought,
yeah,
yeah, it probably keeps that sort of guessing going on. Is it
mm,
supposed to be keeping us, the audience, like, "Oh, John, speak to John, speak to John"? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Is it supposed to be putting us through that? However, nobody's talking about it out
no,
here in the
no.
wild. And I'll admit, until you reminded me, I didn't even think of it. It didn't even cross my mind. And I'm like, that's so obvious, Sophie.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't think we've had
Mm,
another similar comparative storyline, and that one to me, because it was John and because it was so mad, and it changed him so drastically. It's such a different take now. Like, you can't compare the two storylines
yeah,
because
no,
Remi's version of this is just like more tragic, isn't it? It's more kind of sad, and it feels like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
more. I don't remember with John, but I don't think he was as perilously close to death as Remi is.
Well, it certainly didn't feel that way, did it? It was
No.
more salacious in terms of sort of exciting cliff edge plot. Who's trying to kill everyone?
Yeah.
Turns out he didn't even know he was doing it. Sort of reveal, wasn't it? Rather than emotional. This is more and more emotional and character driven. This one, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So. Well, Dr. Swan doesn't think he's worth it, whatever, because he's not turning up for this operation. And she's like, I'm so busy. I need to go and I'm not coming back. Luckily, Levi manages to stall her long enough for Sonny to talk some sense into Remi and get him to the hospital. So he does arrive just as she's about to leave. It's a soap, of course. And he's going to do it, isn't he? Let's do this. And she's saying you're making the right decision because you're looking at what? 10% mortality rate if you have it, 100% if you don't. So lie down, shut up, and being her usual cutthroat self.
Well, we haven't got time, Jarl. He's only got a month, so crack on.
I know. Gone by the month end. Yeah. So yeah, get on with it. You're right. Levi asking to be on the surgical team. I think that's a good idea because I think Remi needs it.
Yes.
As much as anybody else, and I think that's a stellar idea.
Probably the best idea Levi's had since he joined the show.
Probably, yeah. Yes. So I hope we get to see Remi with his scalp open. No, I don't.
I was going
playing guitar.
I don't think will you be able to cope with that?
They're not going to show us that.
I hope they do, because imagine this. Like, I'm going to paint you a scene, right? Because
really?
We know that male patients in the Northern Districts Hospital do not get given any hospital gowns. Right? This is long known, unless you're over 50 and then you get a hospital gown for some reason. So imagine this. Remi is topless with a guitar lying on an operating table. He has been cut open like a boiled egg, and someone is tweaking his brain and then asking him to play Stairway to Heaven. I hope we do see this, just for the comedy value.
We could do with some lighter stuff, couldn't we?
I mean, it's gonna be one of those top 10. You know when they do those countdowns on like Channel 5 at like 2 a.m. in the morning, and it's going to be like top 10 ridiculous soap storylines or whatever, and it's going to be like, this 29-year-old character had a brain tumor and had awake surgery, playing guitar topless. Can you imagine? It'd be hilarious.
And then Ian Lee does a vox pop pretending that he's watching it. Oh yeah. Who else does that? There's all these like Z-listers on them, isn't there?
Yes. Yeah. And they pretend that they've seen the show. They're like, oh yeah, it'll be that Vogue Williams from Ireland again, won't it?
Vogue Williams. Oh well, she loves it.
She loves Home and Away.
I've heard twice. Yeah, loves it.
She met Heath in a nightclub in Dublin. Yeah. We saw the video.
Twice.
Yeah.
And we didn't finish it both times.
No.
Calls his parents finally, doesn't he? This has been something that I've noticed the tweets along mentioning a bit about sort of family and keeping them in the loop. Now, he passes Sonny his will. Remi Carter's last will and testament printed off on word art 10 minutes prior. Right.
Oh dear.
Sonny, by the way, very briefly, not going to rehab now.
No.
Warren who? He's staying put. He was going to ask John to move in with him.
Yeah.
John, who's got no bathroom, no electric.
Can I just say I did get my hopes up here? Because I had you in my brain. You know, when you were saying there's got to be a reason why we're having John's
Poking around while you play the guitar. Yeah.
you can if you like. There's not much up there. It wouldn't take long. No, but you're in my head because like we were talking about John's reno, and you were like, "There's got to be a reason for this reno. We're getting a new set. We're going to see John's house." And then when he said to
Yep.
Eden this week, he was like, "I'm going to ask John if I can move in next door." And I was like, "Oh my god, so I was right. Like this is the reason for the reno." And I went a bit mad in my kind of like, yeah, you know what I'm like, speculation. And I was thinking, Jet's in a wheelchair. Like Jet could feasibly, they could pretend he's coming home for Christmas or whatever. Not that we have Christmas summer baby, but you know what I mean. Like John could have the excuse of having an accessible bathroom fitted because he could be like, well, if Jet ever visits, the bathroom would be much easier for him to get around and blah blah blah. And I thought this will be brilliant because then we've got an accessible bathroom with a genuine reason why John would have one, with Sonny living there, you know, to be next door. And I thought this is the reason, and then it didn't happen. And I was like a little bit crushed because I kind of sold myself this merry dance, and then within 2 scenes, Sonny kind of said to Eden, "Oh, I'm not going to move in next door. I'm going to stay here." And she was like, "Yeah, we've got to stay together." I was like, "Oh, there we go. Well, why are we doing reno then? What's the reno about?" I'd sold myself down the river.
That rumbles on. I mean, for one, I'm quite glad I've managed to avoid a matte black wet room. I've got to say, but I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
In that, yes, that could have been a really good excuse. And I think Sonny lodging with John could be quite fun, to be honest. The two of the quite sort of lighter humour characters. Maybe it's still in the pipeline. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
Over at it's Cash and Eden's now. I keep calling it a share house, but it's Cash and Eden's, isn't it? You can only go as far as the edge of the decking, as we've seen.
Well, did he though? Because
what's she going to do? Just make him sit? Well, don't.
Did he? This week he made breakfast and he was on the grass on his own. So I was like, hang on, continuity. Have we made a ramp or something? Is there a ramp that is Cash knocked up a ramp over the weekend that we didn't see him do? Come on.
Yeah, you just got to just Jenny that one. Just Jenny it.
Either that or
I noticed it as well.
He's worked out he's got to do a run up like you said last week, and he's done a little bit of a propelled himself. Yeah. But then how does he get back up again? You know?
Well, he's stuck on the lawn.
Yeah.
Sinking in the rain.
Stuck on the lawn.
I don't know. But I mean, in terms of like their facilities at their house, I was thinking he's going to have to go out in the back on his chair. She's going to have to like hose him down for a shower.
Oh my god!
At this rate,
oh my god.
No one's thought this through. No one's assessed the property. We could be here all night complaining about this. We've said it a few times now.
Yeah, I mean, it's been there for
I just
days.
About got my head around. I know, but I just about got my head around him sort of calling out round every now and then, but sacking off rehab, not doing his rehabilitations criminal in the first thing. God knows what's going to happen when Dana gets back all trained up. So he's going to be reducing his chances of recovery here, or slowing it at the very least. And then also the house isn't equipped. No. And this rehab centre are just like, yeah, do what you want, sign yourself out. What?
It's weird. And
go
also,
a fiver.
He probably has convinced himself that it's his brain and it's tricked him and blah blah blah. But we saw his leg move. So if you're not doing your exercises properly, not doing your physio properly, is the chance of him walking again slipping away with every day that he's not in rehab? I mean, I don't. Again, it's one of those choices, isn't it? Like, if it was my best friend, and there was a chance that he was going to have surgery soon, and he may not get through it, I don't think I'd want to be away from him either. So I can kind of, I don't know what I would decide to do, because, like he said, you'd kick yourself if Remi had the operation and he didn't pull through, and you were at rehab and you weren't there, and you could have spent 2 extra weeks with him and you didn't. Would you be able to live with yourself and then go to his funeral after? And I think I'd feel guilty, and I think I'd feel like,
I don't know. Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah. It's another impossible situation, isn't it? Like, Remi's got an impossible decision, and I think actually Sonny has as well. I can't really blame him for deciding to to quit it, even though it's daft and it's probably going to do him no favors in the long run. I'm like, I get it.
I think it's consistent with Sonny though, isn't it? Because
Mm.
time and time again, Sonny constantly puts everybody else above himself, doesn't
Yes. Yeah.
he? We were actually joking that he was everyone's agony aunt.
Yeah.
The whole bay went to him for with their troubles, didn't they? A month or so back. Yeah, this is another example of how selfless Sonny is.
Yeah.
At the core.
Mm.
So it is consistent. I'll give him that. I will give him that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he's not getting left that much in the will, so
Yeah.
might as well move in.
He's getting a bike. Yes. Useful when you're in a wheelchair. I know. What do you think about his plans of going down the coast and getting his ashes scattered and what have you? Because I think if it was me and I was writing my will, I'd be like, Sty's got to go to Palm Beach and scatter my ashes for me on the sand outside the surf club.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You would be a little bit more particular about the location. He made it sound like he was going to rain. Rain out the back of the bike.
Maybe that's the plan, just scatter him all the way down. That could be it, couldn't it? Like road grit. Yeah. That could be the plan. I don't know. It was a bit vague.
Imagine driving behind him with your window down. A mouthful of Remi.
I'm not going to comment on that. Yeah, it's true. But I just think of all the places in the world, you live in Palm Beach. Like, is there not good? Is that sand not good enough? Is that beach not good enough?
They take it for granted, don't they?
They do.
Running up and down that sand with all their waves, all their problems and stalkers, and then not appreciating the beauty around them.
No. I think that's
all just complaining about their life.
If you're thinking idyllic places to have your ashes scattered, I think Palm Beach should be up there for me.
Yeah, same.
Defo.
Anyway, yeah. Right, Uncle Fred. I'll tell you about him. He's got a tattoo, so
he's got a few by the sounds of things.
Harper's trying to remember.
She was describing one with a skull, and they didn't draw a skull. They draw like a sword or something.
I know. I actually rewound this scene because I was like, did I hear what didn't hear what I saw. I think.
And she was saying something like a skull and a face, and then we saw the picture, and I was like, "That's a sword, surely, or cross or something."
I think they drew. I think they drew the sword, and like there was supposed to then be a skull on it or something, but I think they were only halfway through and then gave up.
Yeah. So God knows how they found it.
I think. Well, I was waiting for 3 words, and it said blood and sand on it. I was waiting for that.
Yeah, that would be a clue.
It's taken him 6 months to work it out. Now, another guy gets arrested and found with drugs, doesn't he? That has a wallaby, people, not a kangaroo, on it. And Cash is frustrated at this investigation, isn't he? He's getting his hair off. God, that man's working hard, isn't he? Blimey. Not even when he's on the case, he's working 12-hour days. Now, he's tried every trick in the book. He's getting exasperated, isn't he? That he's just getting nowhere with this. And he even says, well, try ones outside of the book then, Dal. But does he? Because then we just see him doing proper police work, and I expected something exciting then. I thought we were going to get plainclothes Cash, going seeing druggies in a crack den. But we didn't, did we? And I was a bit disappointed.
Yeah, that would have been good. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that actually. I think I was laughing too much at the database footage of him going tattoo plus dog plus youth equals 404 error found. Yes. It was very funny.
It sounds a bit like my ChatGPT searches at work.
I couldn't help crying laughing. I was like, he was using the keyboard like my dad does, like the henpecking keyboard, like 2 fingers typing thing. And then it was like Ute plus tattoo plus Fred. I was like, really? And then he's like, oh, no hits. I'm like, I wonder why.
Well, whatever he does, don't laugh at his methods, because he does find Uncle Fred on this super duper YCPD computer in the end, doesn't he?
Nacho, the dog, yes.
summons Fred, not Nacho, to YCPD and interviews him. Now, I gotta tell you, Uncle Fred did not look like I imagined.
No. He didn't look old enough. I was expecting somebody much older.
I think he looked a bit older in the face, but he had that silly haircut that you have when you're 18.
I think for me it was like, how old
He
is
had a good
Harper?
head of hair.
How old is Harper? Like, so all these stories of Uncle Fred, and she's like, oh, me and Dana used to play with his puppy when he used to come round. And I was expecting like a small Harper and Dana, like, you know, like junior schools coming into high school, you know, around maybe 8 to 12 years old.
Yeah, because she's old enough at that point as a child to remember the memory. If you're too young, you don't remember, do you?
Exactly. And I didn't think she was over 16. I thought it had to be young, pre-teen kind of age, maybe up to 13 at the push. And then for you to call him Uncle Fred, I thought it's got to be considerably older. I don't know. This guy he only looked like in his 40s. And I was like, well, how old's Harper? Because isn't she like 30? I don't know.
Yeah, she's definitely. Yeah, the ages aren't. It's not working out, is it?
And the dog's only
is this
15.
even Fred?
Well, she said it was because he showed her a picture of him, didn't she? Like Cash showed a mugshot of him, and she went, "Oh yeah, that's Uncle Fred."
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she did confirm it later.
But I don't know why they haven't met. But there we go. That's another question.
Well, Fred knows his way around the police, doesn't he? He's got a deal for him right away. He doesn't need a lawyer. He knows what he's doing. His record's got more drugs than a pharmacy, which is the most memorable line Sarge has ever said. And he basically bargains for immunity in exchange for information. Now, Cash and Sarge are interviewing him, hoping to get information about these drugs, where they're from, you know, what's going on. And he says, look, you know, when he does start talking and they reluctantly agree to his deal, he says, you want to go after the big guys, don't you? And I'll tell you who's controlling all this. Tane Barata. Patatas.
Patatas bravas.
Which obviously Cash is livid. If it was us, we'd have gasped. He didn't gasp, did he? But his face dropped. Absolutely livid. Sarge is looking at him like, you fucking idiot. Right? And now we're all like, oh God, Tane is cooked at this point, isn't he? Not least because basically Sarge is like, you've got to take his word for it. He's willing to sign a statement. This is it. And then we're all like, hello? There's a lot of glaring things that we're all now at the point where we're all losing our voices screaming at the TV here, aren't we? We're just going to take his word for it. When they're out of the room, he's left in the blooming room alone, might I say. When they're out of the room, he's ringing Kerry, giving us, obviously, we end up learning then that he's in cahoots with Kerry, and he's like, if this better work, or you're in for it, woman, or words to that effect. So there's like a call trail that could be looked into, you know, they could look and corroborate what he's saying, who's he speaking to, you know, has he got calls to Tane from his phone? Have we fingerprinted the bloody baggie? And does this guy's fingerprint show on it, let alone Tane's? You know what I mean? Dear God. Like, what is this investigation, Sophie? What is it?
Crock of shit, doll. It's a crock of shit. It's so frustrating. There's so many. I've been talking to people on Twitter this week on the hashtag, everyone UK hashtag. And there's so many gaps. There's so many people frustrated. We have not fingerprinted the baggie. We have not checked the monitor. The camera from the baby monitor that's in the room. Still, we assume no one's.
Tane's waving it in front of the camera this week.
Yeah, no, you texted me. It was like, not Tane walking around with it. I was like, I know, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. There's so many things, and also like I almost can't kind of criticize the investigation, because I believe that Cash is doing what he can, and I believe that Mac and Joe and Harper and everybody are doing their best. The thing that I can criticize is Tane. Tane has not lifted a finger. Tane is not helping himself. He has not done anything. He's not got off his arse, Dal. Like, if this was me and I was facing prison and I hadn't done the thing that I've been accused of, I would be doing everything to try and track down this woman. And I would be like, how can I prove she was in my house? How can I prove she was here? And I would be saying, let's fingerprint the cot and let's fingerprint, like the things that they haven't done. I mean, he's not done it. All I've seen him do is just walk around in a mood and shouting at Cash and going, "Oh, you said you were going to fix this, and you said that tracking this fella down was going to make my case, going to help me, and it's made it worse." And I'm just like, "What have you done? What have you tried?"
I think you've got a very good point here, and watching it, I knew you would say this because it's Tane, but actually, I think it is found. This is you raise a very, very good point. I mean, when he threw Harper out of his house again this week, I thought, what the hell? At least she's tried something, and it's you that's going down, mate.
Yeah,
you'd be like you say, you would be at that cop shop saying, "Where are you up to with this? Are you doing this? Are you doing that?" He's making it everybody else's problem.
Yeah.
He's the one facing prison.
Yes. And if he hadn't got all these people, imagine if you hadn't got a cop as your friend, as your brother-in-law. I know his wife's died, but technically Cash is his brother-in-law. If you hadn't got that, and you were completely on your own, he would just be sat at home being a moody asshole for the whole time, because he's not doing anything to actually help his case. And it's driving me a bit insane, because I'm like, everybody around you is rallying around and trying to find the evidence and trying to track people down and trying to help you, and everyone feels really guilty, even though it's not her fault. Harper obviously feels really guilty. She shouldn't have contacted her mum, and we can do the shoulda, woulda, couldas until the cows come home, but it's not going to change anything. And at the end of the day, she's trying her best to remember these people that her mum used to hang around with and try and work out where her mum might be and who she might be getting drugs from or whatever. She's doing something, and I don't think you can really blame her. And I'm not her biggest fan. So, and I do think she's doing more than she probably should do to help him, as is Joe. I mean, if you look at Joe, she is dropping her sister, who I would say is arguably at this point. Because we don't know about Tane's court case until later on in the week, but we do know earlier on in the week that Holden is stalking her sister, and Holden's a dangerous creep. And yet, every time she's spending a minute with Lacey, she's dropping her like a hot potato because Tane's having a bad day. And she's running off to him. And, she's not really helping him. She's just holding his hand and, placating him and trying to calm him down and stuff. But she's doing that at the detriment of being there for her younger sister, who actually needs her more, I would say. And so all these people are dropping everything for this guy. And he's doing absolutely nothing. So, although I want to pin the blame, I want to say that YCPD are the worst police station ever, because they are crap. Let's face it; they aren't following the evidence, they aren't fingerprinting stuff, they aren't looking at electronic devices, they aren't asking people for their Ring doorbell cameras and all that sort of stuff to try and prove that she's in the house. They aren't doing any of that. But Tane's not doing anything either. And I think if you can't help yourself, why should anybody else help you? And I said what I said.
Well, no. No, I think you're right. I think you're very, very valid. I agree with everything you're saying. The investigation shit and Tane shitter. I get it. Completely get it. Because even though he didn't get himself in this situation, And as annoying as it is for him, because he kept telling her, "Don't bring your mum," as annoying as that is for him, ultimately you can't change it. You're in this position, even though he didn't put himself there. But what you can influence is how you get out of it, and that is the bit that is annoying me. At this point, and then it's just sort of being sprayed around him and everybody else. I mean, Cash has not been home.
No.
He trying to find a lead. I understand it's his job, but also it's on you, isn't it? In Tane's position, you will be doing everything to try and shake these charges. And actually, I think we have to keep Tane dumb, because the big smoking gun is the cameras filmed it all. Do you know what I think the show here has done wrong with this storyline, and it's make the camera thing obvious to us.
Yeah.
I think if we had no idea there was a baby monitor cam thing in there, we didn't zoom into it the day before Kerry planted the drugs. If we didn't know about it, none of us would be talking about it, right? And we'd have the same concerns, right, about evidence and the investigation, Tane's lack of will. But when we get to the big reveal, which I genuinely believe is going to be camera footage of her doing it, okay? When we get to that, if we had no idea that there was a baby monitor involved, we'd have been going, "Oh, bloody hell." As if in the moment, wouldn't we? We'd have been like, how ridiculous. We'd have been slagging it off for 5 minutes. But then we'd have been like, fair enough, that's it. That's how they've got her, right?
Yeah.
But now, because we know there was a camera and nobody else is mentioning it, talking about it, let alone investigating it, it's making me mad. Do you know what I mean? It's making me angry.
Yeah.
So I think it would have been better if they'd done it the other way and didn't sort of let us in on it. But that's my opinion.
No, I actually think you're right now that you've said it out loud. Yeah, because we're all sort of screaming at the TV, aren't we? Expecting them to do it, and if it was kind of like revealed later on that they've got the way, I mean, it'd still be annoying, wouldn't it? Like,
yeah. In the moment, we'd be eye rolling to I ever thinking, as if. But it would only be for that fleeting reveal.
Yeah. Whereas we've got potentially, God knows how long. I mean, if he does go to prison, we've got like 15 years of screaming at the TV. Check the baby monitor.
I know. Well, I keep thinking, gosh, what if it's got like 30 days and it wipes, or
Well, I think I've got a few cameras that are like, I've got like security cameras, and some of them you put inside the house and some of them you put outside, but they're all like 30 days. Like the footage, it stays on the cloud, and then it gets automatically deleted unless you download it. You know what I mean? So
maybe that's coming. Maybe that's like. Good. Yeah, maybe they're like 1 day too late. Oh, Tane, never mind.
Yeah, because when did all this happen? I can't even place.
It was like, a few weeks back now.
But in the Summer Bay universe, time just feels like a weird.
I know. I know.
Is it 2 weeks? It
speeds up, slows down.
We know it's exactly 1 week till the court case.
Oh, this is another thing, because the DPP won't move that either, will they? Which then adds, it sort of when you put that clock onto all this pressure of this investigation, it just gets even worse, doesn't it? Now we've got a time ticking away, and Mac's bugging me. She's all up in this, isn't she, for absolutely no reason, and decides that he's first of all, Tane needs to get his own timeline right, because first he's going to prison for 7 years, then he's going for 12, then he's going for 15, then he's going for 8. Every time he speaks and says to everyone, "I'm going in. You're sick in the heat." He's the amount of years he's facing changes. Have you noticed? I'm thinking I can't.
This is why the timeline makes no sense. I swear to God, like Summer Bay is on a different time zone to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Not just Australia,
and Tane
but like
even. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
is it?
Tane again.
What's that film that where they go like into space and they say 1 hour on this planet is 7 years on Earth or whatever? I think it's like that in Palm Beach. It's like either the other way around or the opposite, depending on what the story is. It's just time seems to slow down or speed up overnight. It's bizarre.
It is. It is. So I'm at this point. I've lost count of how many years he's facing.
I don't know
Because
who I
I've
am
heard it that
anymore.
many different versions. Yeah, but Max spent the whole day with him in this forlorn mood, facing prison, taking himself off to there, drinking whiskey in the day, and all this. And then, so she's like, right, I've got to do something. So she gets on the blower to Dean.
Mm-hmm.
Dean being River Boy. Here we are again, back in the throes of everyone's favourite subject,
OG
River Boys.
OG.
Mm-hmm. And she says, listen, if someone needs to disappear for a while, can you help me? Of course she knows he can. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that leads us to Brax, because Dean then gets in touch with Brax, as you say, the OG head, and he's out living his life in rural Western Australia on a cattle ranch with Casey, who's now like 11 looking. He's
At least 10.
He'd have been born like 2016, wouldn't he?
Mm.
I'll come on to him in a minute because I'm not sure about him.
Mm.
And
What about the child?
And Ricky, yeah, I'm not sure. He was white. He was annoying me.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, he didn't strike me as a River Boy's son.
Well, he's not been
He just
brought
kept.
up.
He kept.
He's not been brought up in that lifestyle.
Mom, let's play this. Go away. Go inside. Okay. Mom, can we do this? Go away. Go inside.
He has not been brought up as a River Boy's child. No, he's been brought up on a cattle ranch in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. I did think it was funny that they just kept telling him to go away.
I know. He just kept appearing and then he kept being shooed off.
Go do your homework. I mean, it's mad just to hear Ricky and Brax caring about someone doing their homework, let's be honest.
I know. Oh my God, what is going on? I mean,
think this is the point though, isn't it? That their life is so, this is why it's like jarring, because it's like, this is not how I remember them. But I think that's the point, isn't it? They are supposed to have left that life behind.
Yeah.
Lived this bizarre lifestyle off-grid almost, as far as they can be off-grid these days in 2026, and had a child. It's supposed to be jarring because it's supposed to be like, well, this is the only reason why he's not in prison, because he's so far removed from the River Boy lifestyle that this is the only way they can do it and carry on and be safe. I'm still trying to get my head around it, Si, if I'm honest.
It's a tough ask, isn't it? I'm watching this thinking I recognise them, but I don't know them. Like I know who they are, but like what the hell?
Yes.
We'll talk about this much more in the special ep next week, but I wasn't Ricky's biggest fan.
No.
Actually, I was a little bit miffed when he came back from the dead, gotta say. So this, I don't know. I just can't imagine him being there for 10 years and be happy with that existence. Do you know what I mean? Like, he needs to be with the boys and the brotherhood, and I don't know. I have only seen a few minutes. Do you know what I mean? So it's early days, but it does feel weird.
It does. It does feel weird. I agree. Yeah, I need to see more before I make a full opinion, but I'm just...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get... I think I need the weekend to get my head around the fact that now his focus is, 2.4 kids, well, 1.4 kids, however many kids he's got, and it's about... The River Boys were a family. It was like a found family, wasn't it? It was like, blood and sand, but not necessarily blood related. It was like you grew up, you were close because of the situation that you grew up in. You were close because you had the same upbringing and same lifestyle and that kind of thing. And now, completely different lifestyle, but now he's got his own family, he's got his own blood, you know. And
Yeah.
it's about that. It's about being a family man, and it's about giving his kid a different life, the life that he didn't get to have, the life that Ricky didn't get to have. And I think I just need a weekend to get my head around that, maybe.
Yeah. I think I might have to rewatch it tomorrow, just to sort of try and wrap my head around it a bit, because I think I was on my lunch hour and I was like, getting through it, and I was a bit like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I think I was overstimulated watching it. I guess is what I'm trying to say. If I just take a breather and watch it again.
It was such an. I mean, what did you make of that? What was your first initial thought when you saw like the cows and the ranch and Brax in a cowboy hat and like the holster, the like leather holster thing that he had, like, and the moped? Like, what was going through your mind when you first saw all of that?
I don't know. I just started giggling. I wish I'd have filmed myself, because my face probably would have told you.
I wish you'd filmed that as well, because that would have been a picture. Yeah.
I don't know.
Would have been similar to mine. I was just like, my flabbers were gasted. Like, I was, yeah, I just didn't, I wasn't, even though I'd seen the pictures, I still was shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And now I'm like, I don't know what I expected. Do you know what I mean? But
no. It was just so weird. It was like he turned up on this moped and there was all these cows running. And then she was like, did you get them all back? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, are we really having cattle chat? Like, is cattle chat? Like, this is so weird.
It was so strange.
So not. The last time we saw him, he was like, following her to London and trying to, and then in the Bay, trying to convince her not to marry Nate. And
I know, and
like,
guns
it was,
and
ambush
in his prison van, and
pretend to be dead, and then going back and then being like, leave him and come with me, life on the run. Like,
he looks too calm. He looks too calm. This isn't the life for him, and I'm wondering whether this might end up being part of the storyline. Because you see, when he gets the call from Dean, there's a guy I know wants to lay low. It's funny because obviously Heath is out there still, and Heath knows who Tane is. It's interesting that there's been no combo in those years, but we know Heath's met Tane. He's met Tane. Anyway, she's not keen, is she? So this sign's here. She's like, no, we've left that world behind. Once a river boy, always a river boy. She's not keen, is she, on this? Because this to me feels like this is Ricky's making, this whole existence. And is there something inside of Brax that's been waiting for this moment to break out of this cattle ranch hell? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it doesn't look like the most when you compare it to what we know of him, it doesn't look like the most exciting life, but maybe he's settled down. Maybe he has got used to this more slow pace. And like you say, is this kind of like a tempting, because maybe things are a little bit too steady and a bit too comfortable now, and he's like, oh, a bit of danger. I could, bit of short-term danger.
Yeah, he's even on tag. Ooh, 2 points. Get him up here.
I mean, talking about on tag, I mean, can we just talk about this plan? Like, so the plan is, as far as we're aware, is to just run away, right?
Yeah.
And I texted you and I was like, call me thick, but I don't understand why this is a better plan than going to prison. Because okay, let's just thrash it out. So he's got about as many options as Remi has, let's face it. So his option is to either plead guilty and go to prison for 2 to 3 years while his son is still very young, probably won't remember his dad being in prison, but tarnished forever. Like, so he will, because he's pleaded guilty, there'll be no appeal if anything comes out later. He's a drug dealer on record. That will have consequences. I don't even know if he's got citizenship in Australia. Does he have to go back to New Zealand? I don't know. There's question marks over pleading guilty. I don't think that's necessarily where I would go with that, but that's one of the options. Option 2
Yeah.
is he pleads not guilty. He has to go to court then. He has to try and prove that he's innocent, or they have to at least prove that he's guilty. And if he fails, and if they do find him guilty, then he goes to prison for a much longer time.
Mm-hmm.
And Archie will remember him being in prison because it will get to the point where he will, be able to remember those visits if he goes to see him in prison and blah, blah, blah. That's option 2. Option 3 is run away. Oh, I don't get option 3 because option 3 means he won't see his kid because he's got to run away. It'll be dangerous for his kid to visit him, so that's unlikely to happen. Whereas if he's in prison, his kid could potentially go and visit him for prison visits or whatever. I don't really get why running away is the option. He's on tag, and we already know that the tag's gone off. He's been arrested. How's he going to get through? I mean, presumably he won't be able to fly to Perth because his tag will go off in the airport.
No, it's going to be like a 6-day drive.
So his tag, and what are they going to do? They're going to bash his tag off before he goes, or is he going to be driven? I don't get it.
We might see Max sporting it with the heels. She might. She might
have to wear it on a wrist or something.
Although it was going off when he went near the juice bar last week. He's got no hope if he's tagged.
And they turned up immediately, didn't they? So I just don't know. There's 3 options here. 1, go to prison, plead guilty. 1, maybe go to prison, plead not guilty. And number 3, run away and never see your kid. And he keeps saying, like, I can't go to prison because I don't want to be away from my boy. But option 3, running away. You're on the other side of the country, away from your boy. How is that an option? Can you explain to me why this is an option?
No, I can't, because it's madness. It's madness. It's more than a bitter pill to swallow this. Look, I was watching it thinking the same, like, oh my God, what's he talking about? The solicitor's telling him to plead guilty, 2 years. You'll be out before the kid starts school. The kid will never need to know. Right? That's my first thought. And you're right, there's an immigration thing, because that came up on his last issue with, baby kidnapping. So, but that's something you'd check before you pled guilty, ask your lawyer, right? Who's now, because he didn't go for that option, she's now sacked it off. I mean,
Oh, I'm washing my hair that day. Soz.
Good riddance to bad legal advice, I say. So, look, so we can sort of half rule that out, but like there were questions to be had there. That would have, if he could still stay in the country. He's a business owner. It doesn't look like he's got to get out and have a job and look for a job and not, because there's all those ramifications of being in prison, isn't there? What you come out, but your life's buggered. Because you can't get work, you can't, all that stuff. But he wouldn't have that because he's the boss. So,
as long as he's got someone to look after the gym while he's in prison, presumably.
While he's in prison, yeah, exactly. Keep things ticking over. But then I thought that Archie would never be none of the wiser because the kid's not even 1 yet. Like, I thought if he does 2 years in prison, he won't even be in nursery by the time he's back.
And he can visit. Like Harper can take Archie with her to visit him, and Archie won't even remember going.
Yeah, exactly. And that's in terms of protecting the child, that's the best option, right? Now, what they've done is tried to buy time, because this all came about when the stopwatch was started with the 1 week. So what they've done is get him out of the bay, and then we can buy more time to try and prove his innocence. It's very short-sighted. They're going to make him run, so he's got longer than a week, right? Let's say, hypothetically, he's out in the cattle ranch, stargazing with Brax for a fortnight. Someone finds the footage and proves his innocence. He's now ran from the law.
Yeah,
he's already on
suspended sentence.
He's buggered anyway. Even if he can prove his innocence, he's got something to come back to. Yeah, what is going on with this thought process?
The thought process blew my mind, because also all of this, and I'm glad you agree with me, because I was just like, is it just me? Am I being like thick? Like, is this a good idea? And I'm just not.
No.
And I'm so anti-Tane. Maybe I'm just being a bit blinkered. You know what I mean? Like, am I missing something? But also, what wound me up was Tane left like, he had a whole speech prepared. He was talking to Mac, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not going to see my boy if I go to prison. If I plead guilty, I'm not going to see my boy for like 2 to 3 years." Like, and I was thinking, we will, because you'll see him on visit days or whatever. But while he left the room, without him knowing, without a conversation being had, she decided that she was going to try and fix the problem and phone Dean behind his back and say, "Oh, can you do this for me?" And like, it's serious at that point. She's made that phone call, and it's the wheels are in motion. You know what I mean? Without even talking to him. So I was like, why does she feel like it's her responsibility to fix the problem, first of all? And why does she think that this is a better solution? So he was just complaining to her about, if I plead guilty, I'm in prison for 2-3 years, away from Archie for 2-3 years. And she was like, "Oh yeah, good point. But if you run away, that's better." I just couldn't. In her brain, I was like, Matt, where's the logic? I thought she was smart.
Considering she's also expecting a child.
Yes.
I mean, I do wonder what Levi's going to think of her involvement in this.
Oh, God.
If he ever finds out.
And he's going to, isn't he?
Because he's quite straight, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, this is the other thing that blew my mind. This plan to run away. It's not just Mac making a phone call and Dean getting involved and Tane deciding to run away, but also has consequences for other people in the Bay that actually have been really good to Tane recently and have really stuck by him. So first of all, we've got Cash. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to get on my little rant here, because Cash has been a really good friend. Cash has been a really good cop in terms of trying to. He's at least, he might have made the case worse, but that was not his intention. He's tried to track down the drugs and prove that they are from someone else, not from him. Blah blah blah. He's done his best, and yes, it backfired on him, but Kerry's thought of every eventuality, so that's not on Cash. But Cash has also put down 40k of bail money for Tane. Tane doesn't know that Cash is sitting on $1 million right now. So this is 40k that's come out of, presumably, Cash's murdered parents, or killed, or suicide parents, or whatever, and his dead sister. So the life insurance that Cash has got, the money that Cash has got to put down the bail money, has come from life insurance from his dead parents and his dead sister and Tane's ex-wife, who's dead. So it's very, very personal money that he's put down for him. If Tane goes on the run, that money is gone. Cash is now 40k in the hole. He doesn't get that back. And Cash has been a really good friend to him, and he didn't deserve him. He didn't even deserve him putting forward that bail money, let alone all the stuff he'd done to try and get him off the charges and what have you. So that will ruin Cash in terms of his money. But also, Cash is a policeman. He's put his neck on the line. He's put his reputation on the line to support somebody who has been charged with a drug offence, who is now going to go on the run. That is a kick in the teeth. That's horrendous. That is a shitty friend.
Can you also, if Tane disappears in the shadows of the night and doesn't even speak to him, I'll be livid.
It's just, he's going to have to, because how can you tell a cop I'm going to run away? Oh,
I know.
Thanks for putting the 40k down, and thanks for putting your neck on the line. I know your boss is really, really unhappy with you for being on my side, but I'm going to leg it now. Is that all right? Bye. You can't. So he's going to absolutely shit on his friend. But not just that. This week we have seen Lacey, who's been desperately needing a friend, family member, somebody to be with her through her time of crisis. Her big sister has dropped her like a hot potato whenever Tane's lips turned upside down, and she's run off to try and console this man baby from having a tantrum about his problem that he won't actually fix himself. So she keeps running off to this guy, and he hasn't even thought about Joe once in this plan of running away. Like, he's actually contemplating running away from the Bay forever on the run from his son but also from his girlfriend who keeps dropping everything else for him. He hasn't even thought about it.
Yeah.
Like, she has not crossed his mind once in this whole contemplation of
No.
whether he should run away or not. He's not even going to say goodbye to her, is he? He's just going to leg it out of the bay.
Sophie, I cannot wait till Monday, honestly.
I'm
wondering how he's going to do this.
I cannot get past the audacity of this guy who's done absolutely nothing to help himself, and he's now going to shit from a great height onto the two people that have stood by him. I just can you be? How can you be that selfish?
I know. It's horrific, isn't it? And I tell you, we're having an absolute ball here, slagging it all off. But isn't it good? Isn't it
great!
juicy?
It's great drama. It's given us so. I mean, you and I, my WhatsApp has been going off, and your WhatsApp has definitely been going off because you've been getting WhatsApps from me every day. Like, we have had so much to talk about offline about how, like, the audacity of this man for a start, but also all the, Mac. It's all the little things, isn't it? Why does Mac think this is... We thought Mac was smart. Why does Mac think it's a good idea? Why has Mac took on all the problems of Tane? Joe is about to get a slap in the face because he's going to run off into the night and she's going to be like, oh, my dad was right about him. She's going to have to go crawling back to her dad's house with egg on her face. Cash is going to have to go crawling back to Eden with egg on his face, crawling back to Sarge with egg on his face. Oh, it's just the trail of destruction that this man is going to leave.
I know. The fact that that it leaves all that though is why I'm into it. Like, I think it's reminding me of, like, it's like a Robbo era. Where just like, it's just so nuts and everybody around them pays the price, like that.
Yes.
I think the show actually does quite well of these kind of stories that are sort of long running, but you don't really realise it until all hell breaks loose.
But at least
this has
Robbo,
been coming since.
At least Robbo did the decent thing and died.
That still could happen.
Oh, I hope so.
The night is young. We've had April's death, so
May, June. Yeah, let's push it back.
I get trampled.
Is it just me though? Like, I am so irate about this whole. There's so many things with the storyline that made me cross, and I just feel like I'm the one screaming at the TV. Are you feeling anywhere near as angry as I am about this, or is it just me being? Because
No, I am. But I don't have, like you say, the same response to Tane as quite as strong as you, but I will call it out. Do you know what I mean? Like when it needs to, and I think we're invested. That's what it is. We've been. It's like 2 years in the making. This.
Yeah.
This everything here that's gone on all goes back to Flick. We've said it now for a long time. Everything, the baby, going to prison, shagging Harper. It goes all the way back to that, which was ages ago now.
It was. Yeah.
This is, and him not having this idyllic family and it turning out this way, and the fall down of this character that's been put on this highest of high pedestals for so long. I can't help but be completely and utterly invested in it, even though it's infuriating as fuck.
Yeah. I'm just really struggling. Like, I'm trying to be objective, and he does wind me up. And I used to love Tane, and I think this is why it bothers me so much, because I used to be a massive fan of him, and I feel like his character has completely been assassinated through several poor choices, and he's turned into this man that he's the type of man now that I really don't like, whereas he used to be the type of man that I really did like. And I don't really know how we've got here, and I know he's had some tragic circumstances and what have you, and maybe that explains it, I don't know, but I still feel like it's a very exaggerated arc in terms of his development.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah, because we all want to be entertained. But I do think it does explain it. I agree with you. He's completely a different guy, like assassination is the word you use, and I think all the decisions he makes one poor thing after the wheels came off his life when Flick died, and
I think it's before that. I think it was the minute they decided to have a baby, it was over for me.
That period. Yeah, I agree. Because she died quite soon after that, because they were actually going to get back together, but that was a stupid idea. Anyway, but it goes back to that pairing and how strong it was and how we were all into that. I do, and I think this is an example of a man whose life he was so, it's like the Farnoon, and all that, and and it's how he controlled he was. We've talked about it for years on here. He loves the control. He wanted his life. He buying acres of land by a lake, and this is what he thought his life would be, and it can be nothing. It's actually couldn't be further from it. You know what I mean? And it's all his own doing, and that's the most just for me, the sweetest thing about it is all this he's done himself.
He has.
Do you know what I mean?
He has. And that's why I'm kind of okay with him going to prison, even though I know he's innocent of this. I know he's not guilty of the crime that he's been charged with. But I'm almost okay with it because I'm like, this is just past life karma catching up with you, guy. And you haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Like, he's got, for me, right now, he's got no redeemable features because he's not trying to help himself. And if he showed me the old Tane right now, and if he was really trying to sort his life out and to try and fix this problem and resolve it, and but he's not. He's stomping around with a face like thunder, yelling at everybody else because they're not helping him, when actually they're going out of their way to help him. And unfortunately, Kerry has got more about her than we gave her credit for, I think, because she has got this all lined up, because if it does come back to Fred, she's already got this alibi set up and what have you. And unfortunately, David is a terrible cop. So all these questions that Cash was asking in the interview room when he wasn't actually being officially interviewed, like, what does Tane look like? And unfortunately, he couldn't answer those questions, but Sarge wasn't there. It wasn't being recorded. Now he's got the questions he needs to ask Kerry, because now he can phone Kerry and say, give me a description of this guy, or send me a photo, so that when the cops do ask me these questions, or maybe they make me take a lineup and identify the guy, I'll at least know. Because let's be honest, Tane is like, he's not like other men, describably. You know what I mean? Like, if Kerry said to him, he's a man mountain, he's got massive muscles, he owns a gym, and he's got dark hair and dark eyes, like, you would be able to pick. There'll be a load of normal guys in the lineup, and you'll be able to pick him out immediately based on the description.
It won't take long, will it?
So it's not going to take long, even if. So Kerry, unfortunately, is one step ahead, but Tane is showing me no redeemable features, no redeemable characteristics of winning me round, winning me over. I don't feel sorry for him, even though I should, because he's being wrongly convicted of a crime. I don't actually feel bad for him, and that's a terrible thing, isn't it, really?
It's a very complex character as a result of all this crap.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I like about it. Not saying I like him.
No.
Okay, but I think what I like about his character is they've written all this complexity into it, and we can sit and debate it like this till the cows come home. Literally, the WA
cattle chat,
and I don't think there are many soap characters out there that are written this complex.
No, but
and
is
I think
it on
that's
purpose?
one of the joys. Well, don't know, but it's one of the joys of having such a small cast, I guess.
Yes.
In that we can spend all this time on characters like this and go in all these ways. I guess it's one of the positives of having a small cast, eh?
It is.
So,
yeah.
Let's see what happens when he gets up there next week. I can't wait.
Yes. Let's see who whether I care if he gets. I think he's going to leg it. I mean, the whole Brax and Ricky thing. We're being sold an idea. We know they're coming back for more than this episode that we've seen on Friday. So we know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's pretty written that he's going to be going, isn't it? Let's be honest. There's no drama in terms of his decision. I think he's gone.
No. Did you watch the trailer at the end? No.
I didn't see all of it because I was like, oh, I don't want to watch it all because sometimes it spoils it because it shows you like everything that's going to happen the next day. And I was like, I don't really want to know. I kind of want to see it play out. So I didn't.
Yeah. Well, I stuck around, you see, for the new closing credits. That was the other thing
did
I was
tell me
supposed to
about
talk
that
about at the beginning.
Yeah.
Thoughts on? They've even give this whole thing. They've put them in the titles. We've got a new song. We've got new titles.
What do you think?
One thing I love on the opening, we've got the "Welcome to Summer Bay" sign, and on the closing, we've got the "Sorry You're Leaving Summer Bay" sign. Did you notice?
I didn't see the because I've actually avoided the end because I've had to avoid the end trailer. You know what I mean? So on Friday's episode when it all changed, I actually didn't watch the whole. I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm sorry. I know that's sacrilegious.
It's all right. They've shortened the theme. It's shortened
at the end.
The closing theme. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like they used to years ago. It has shortened.
But was that because the trailer was long?
It could have been. We'll find out what happens next week.
I've noticed that sometimes when the trailer is like over a minute, the credits are shorter anyway.
Well, yeah, or do they just speed it up? But the song's always the same. You know, we belong together. You and I forget.
Oh,
but like,
okay. Fair enough.
the song on this new closing one started at something like, just to know you were there. You know, like halfway through.
Oh, okay.
Hold me in your. It wasn't the full song.
Go. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
It
didn't start at "You Know We Belong" like it normally does.
Okay, interesting. Okay. Maybe we keep an eye on that then.
Obviously,
see if it's shorter next week. Yeah.
Whether we keep this, is this just a Brax theme, or for these special episodes? Do you think?
Do you remember ages ago you shared with me a video montage that looked quite similar to this actually, but it had Brax and Ricky on the beach in Palm Beach, and I've watched this one. I only watched it really on the TV tonight, so I probably wasn't looking as closely as I should have done. But I didn't see Brax and Ricky in the opening titles.
Oh, were they not there?
I don't think they were, and maybe I need to watch it again because I was trying to work out: is this permanent or is this just for this week-long, special? And I didn't because I didn't see them. I saw everybody else. I loved all the Alf and Marilyn extra clips and everything. I saw the regular cast, but I don't think I saw Brax and Ricky in the opening bit. So I was like, maybe this is permanent.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I hope so, because honestly, I absolutely love some of the new shots. And on the closing, which I'm going to make you watch on Monday, right? There's a shot of Alf sat on a bench, and his hat's on the bench next to him. And you don't even know it's Alf, but obviously it's Alf, right? And his hand just waves over the hat and picks it up.
Oh. Okay.
Honestly, yeah, I'm really impressed with the closing stock shots.
That's interesting because the ones that you showed me previously, I think I immediately discounted it because I was like, oh, sigh, this is AI because Brax and Ricky are sitting on Palm Beach, and I know now that I need to discount that way of thinking and what have you. But when I watched the opening credits, I didn't see them, and I was looking for them. So I was like, if it's the same ones I've seen before, they were like on Palm Beach, and I don't think I saw them, and that's what made me think maybe it's not just for this new kind of spin-off.
Maybe it's a new thing.
Yeah, maybe
I'm sure it'll grow on us all. We all hate the theme when it changes, and then we all get on board.
It's so jarring when you hear the song sung by a different voice, and this is two different voices as well, so it's even more jarring. So it's like, I think it needs to grow on me. I think I need to hear it a few more times. I wasn't in love with it immediately.
Yeah,
What
lovely.
about you? What
But
about
yes,
you?
that little touch. The theme itself, yes, I think I needed a bit of oomph on it. I said to you, didn't I? But I'm sure after a couple of listens, I'll be like I was with the other one when it changed. The last one we had.
I think the
But I
problem
actually
is,
like the image.
yeah, the image is good, isn't it? I think the problem is for me is that nothing beats the fish.
I know. I don't got you going back a bit now.
Nothing beats the fish.
but-
The opening credits with the fish was like they peaked at that point.
Oh God, mind blown when that came on one day. Honestly,
I was like, "What?"
I was.
It was one of those where you got.
This is so modern.
I literally got out of my seat and ran to the TV to look at it. I was like, "What is this? This is amazing!" I thought it was genuinely so high tech back then.
Yeah, I did.
The fish, they peaked.
But yes,
the fish.
I know the little touch that they've done now with the whole the Summer Bay sign, "Welcome to Summer Bay" on the opening, and then on the closing, it's the "Sorry You're Leaving" one.
I need to clock
which
that.
I think is a little fun. Yeah, a little fun touch. Yeah.
I'm glad you pointed that out. I need to go and watch that. Definitely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Right, Lacey and Joe and Abs, they go for a day at the beach this week. And Lacey thinks she's seen Holden, doesn't she? We all know she's waiting on the outcome of his AVO hearing, and whether he gets bail or not. And it's all spooked her, hasn't it? Because she's nervous about news and hearing about it. Turns out she was right too, because he got bail that morning, but no one found out because Sarge is so shite. He didn't find out till tea time, and he's been out free wandering around all day, stealing surfboards and things. So there's a bit of a panic, isn't there? And Sarge is like, he sits her down, tells her, says, "Right, I'll hire you a car. We'll put you up in dodgy motel. Don't worry about it. You're going to be safe." Off you go alone, walking home. Like, everyone keeps telling she's going to be safe and going to be looked after, and then everyone leaves her alone. It's driving me nuts. Right. And then, basically, he's broke his AVO once. He's probably going to do it again. Everyone's on high alert. To be fair, I know I'm saying everyone's leaving her alone, but she's quite defiant as well at times, isn't she? She wants to carry on working. She wants to do this. She wants control of her life. And of course, she does attempt to carry on her shift the rest of the afternoon. And when Al tells her that the surfboard's been spotted up the north end, up the north end, Elf. And she says, "I'll go and get it." Of course, it's a trap. Holden's dug it quite deep there, hasn't he, into that? They had left it.
I thought she was going to snap it in half.
I'd have tried it and gone, "No, it's not budging that. I'll wait for Marley." You would, wouldn't you? There's no way I'm going to try and pull that out.
I'll be honest,
anyway,
I wouldn't have even trekked up there. I'd have gone, "Oh, I'll get it later. I'll get Marley to." Or do you know what I would have done? I'd have waited for John to come in and I'd have asked for a lift on the Polaris.
That's a good one.
Give us a lift to North Beach. We've got to go and fetch a phony.
Got to go up the North End, John. Up the North End.
Defo. I wouldn't have walked there. Nah, I'm way too lazy for that.
He's there, isn't he? She turns around trying to get this surfboard out of the sand. He's there. "Why did you do this to us? Why are you making things difficult?" Telling the police, quite forceful, pulling on her arm, scary. I'm breathing heavily. Oh God, choking on my tea. Basically telling her this is a joke. The magistrate even agrees with him that this AVO's a massive joke and all the rest of it. And he says this chilling line that if he wishes they both would have died on the train together, because then at least they'd have been together. This is, I told you, in his eyes, this is a big love story. This is Romeo and Juliet, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
It is.
In his perspective, he's not very well, is he?
He's not. And this is the thing that's bugging me about this storyline. He's actually said in front of Cash, "My girlfriend," and Cash was like, "He's not. She's not your girlfriend." She doesn't think of you like that, blah, blah, blah. It's getting down to the nitty gritty of the detail is this guy is not well. And yes,
Mm-hmm.
I agree that he needs to be held accountable for the criminal offences that he's done, and he needs to go to court for those and what have you. But why are we ignoring the fact that he's got psychological issues and that actually
I know.
all this bail stuff, I mean, I know it's good drama and whatever, and actually I'm loving the drama, so I don't really want this to happen, I'll be honest. But, devil's advocate, he should be in some kind of institution getting help for
Yeah.
his psychological
Yeah.
problems, surely.
Yeah. I kept saying the last couple of weeks, I kind of wanted to see that element introduced because I was a bit worried about how he was being portrayed. I know I'm not excusing anything, right?
Mm,
Just to sort of get in there first, but there's a rhyme and a reason behind all this, and I think that's been forgotten,
yes.
and there's there's nothing to say he couldn't have been remorseful with the right help. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think I wanted to see that happen a little bit more. Maybe
Mm,
I'm just a bit of a softie, but yeah, he has been demonized almost, hasn't he?
mm,
When he's clearly very unwell.
yeah.
His perception about what's going on here is completely off,
Yeah.
and he's not really in his right frame of mind.
Mm,
The behavior is a result of that. You know,
yeah.
um, she takes herself in this hire car, which he's like watching from the bushes, so that wasn't difficult to crack, up to uh, Travel Dodge, doesn't she? And she sits
Mm.
in the motel out on the road, and there's a knock at the door. Bento box. She's like, "Come on down." No, she's not really. She's a bit hesitant. Looks through the spiral and then opens it anyway. You're like,
Mm,
right. Of course, he then wedges his way in. He's there, wedges his way in. He's now in the hotel room with her. She's like, "Get out. Oh my God, this is scary." She then tries the same approach that worked last time at the house, didn't it?
mm,
Where she was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, I didn't know you felt that way. Let's go for a walk. Let's talk." She tries it again, hoping it would work, but there's too much water under the bridge now, Dal, isn't there?
mm.
And they sit down and oh God, and when she starts stroking her hair, um, I did get a bit chilly, because I thought, oh, this is making me feel a bit, ooh. They get into a bit of a ruckus about, you know, this situation, and does he have her on the bed? It looks like he's pinning her on the bed, doesn't it, at one point during this
Oh,
disturbance?
it's awful. If you slow mo it and there's pictures, there's like on Back to the Bay website, there's pictures of what happened, and he's got
Mm,
he's pinning her down. He's got his hand over her mouth to stop her screaming. This
mm,
scene left me cold. I'll be honest. This whole
yeah,
thing left me really cold. Oh, it's awful. It was such good drama, really good telly, really good like escalation to the storyline. But as a viewer, oh my God, I was terrified.
yeah, I was, and I think they shot it really well. All the close face cameras,
Yeah, he
the
was
fisheye
terrifying.
look.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actor,
Mm,
absolutely magnificent. He's
yes.
been. I
Yeah.
tell you what, he's been so believable, hasn't he?
Yes.
Um, the actor playing Holden, he's been what great casting! I tell you,
Mm,
he's been magnificent with this. The fact that we both felt that chill
mm.
during this moment, you
I
know,
actually jumped.
um,
I actually did a jump
mm,
because even though I knew that he was going to come through that door the minute I was screaming at the TV, I was like, "Do not open the door for a bento box. Like maybe a cake, maybe like I might have opened the door for a cake, but I would not have opened the door for a bento box." But seriously, all this like the backstory, if you don't know that if you haven't ordered something and you don't know who's ordered it and you are in danger and you are feeling like do not open the door, like just this is
mhm.
a PDA to everybody else. Don't open that door. It doesn't matter whether you think it might be from your dad or whatever. Don't open the door. but she did open the door. And even though I knew the minute she opened the door, she was toast and that this guy was going to appear, I knew it was going to happen. I still jumped out of my skin when he shoved his foot in and this is really, really well done. Scary.
The way it was even cut, because obviously he's got her on the bed, like all this awful stuff's happening, and she grabs the lamp and smacks. But I was like, did she hit him? What happened? Like the editing that it just sort of cut. I was like,
yeah.
Honestly, it was such an exciting episode. Like you say, for the drama, I was like, I felt everything. I just think they did this so good. And we do learn, unfortunately, the next day that he did succumb to this injury from the lamp.
Yes.
And Sarge discovers this when he finally turns up to look after his other daughter. Bloody hell. Now, this is when it all started to get a little bit weird for me, because not only am I like a little bit miffed that he hasn't sort of had his moment, Holden, to sort of not forgiveness, but address his issues, okay? Because now he's gone, right? And that's how he's going to be remembered. But also Sarge's handling of this aftermath, right, is going to be very interesting to see how he behaves now, considering his unfounded, uneducated opinion of Cash's policing. But also because he then goes and sits there and arrests his own daughter. You tell me if that isn't a conflict. He shouldn't even be at the scene, should he, Sophie?
God.
I was on my feet screaming at the TV.
I know. Yeah, I mean, we've heard for 1 week, 2 weeks, every time Cash mentioned the Tane case in the police station, we've heard how you must follow the evidence. You can't have an opinion. Doesn't matter what you think, Newman. Blah 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 blah. It's about the case and conflict of interest, and you can't do this and you can't do that. And I'll be honest, I sat watching these episodes and I just thought of you, and I just thought. How beautiful would it be for you to finally get your kind of moment? Like all the kind of Tane stuff where I get really riled up, and it's like, maybe this is not how I wanted to get caught up in the law. Maybe this is not how I wanted his karma to come back on him, because actually he's innocent in this case. But actually, Sarge, he's been a terrible copper. He's been a terrible dad. He's yelling at Cash constantly about conflict of interest, and we've talked about it many times that he is a hypocrite. And all of this, I was like thinking, this is your kind of I told you, your moment to go yes in your face, even though it's awful because we like Lacey, don't we? But I couldn't help thinking, I bet Sai's loving every minute of this.
Yeah, I was on my feet, Sophie, honestly. I was, because as well, just this death happening completely shocked me. Like, I've not heard, seen, nothing. I didn't think this was happening, right?
Yeah.
So this whole episode, this goes to show you how much more enjoyable it is when you do not know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And you and I both will be the biggest advocates for this as much as possible. It's not always possible being, a few weeks behind, but stuff like this where you can easily avoid it and just go with it. And then that twist where she ends up killing him was actually a twist. I'm in shock,
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what is happening now? And then I'm turning to Sarge and I'm like, oh, this woman, I'm lit. You know what I mean? It's unfolding in front of me. I don't know what's happening. I can't keep up. And then I'm like, yes, come on, Sarge, he's gonna get it. It was just so much more enjoyable.
It was, and all I kept thinking was, okay, let's see you not have an opinion now. Let's see you not be conflicted in terms of, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm going to be keeping such a close eye on you now and what you do and how you compose yourself and how you get involved with this case and how you can't have an opinion on the guilt or innocence of the person involved, because police work is not about opinions. It's all about finding the evidence and, following the evidence, and it's beyond our control and what have you. And I just thought, this is hilarious. And I was so happy for you, because I was like, I know Sai hates this guy, and if I was you, I would be absolutely crying laughing at this point. I was like,
I tell you what, really,
this is for Sai.
yeah, thank you for being my cheerleader. I tell you what really did it for me was later on when he does that. He's speaking to Cash. He does his whole spiel about women and how they put their trust in us. Why do I even put this uniform on in the morning? And I can't even keep my daughter safe. I'm like, you've not spoke to her for 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
She's had all this going on.
Exactly. He's been a shit dad. And he was like, on the day that this murder happened, he was like, you go to the motel, I'll come straight back to you, I'll get a cop over there and they'll be, looking after you, like guarding you and whatever. Didn't do any of that. Got caught up in police
None
work.
of it happened.
No.
Yeah.
And it comes back to the fact that I can't help but think, and it's, a terrible comparison and we'll never know really what would happen, blah, 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 because it hasn't happened. But I can't help but think that if this was Joe, he would have dropped everything for her, and he wouldn't have gone, because he got a phone call, didn't he? Go, there's been an assault at the station. We need you, Sarge. And it's just like, you could deal with that on your own. You're coppers. At the end of the day, these people are his team. These people are trained to deal with crime, and it's happened at the police station. I mean, come on, you're right there. The jail's right there. Put this guy in the cell, and I'll come back to you when I've dealt with my daughter. Do you know what I mean? He didn't need to run off back to the station and deal with this, but he did. He put Lacey second.
How many people has a girl got to kill to get her dad's attention? Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And I can't even blame the other people.
The only time he turned up.
I can't even blame the other people, because at the end of the day, right, we had this scene in Salt where Marley and Leah were there, and David's like, "Oh, I've got to go back to the station, but I also want to come with you to the hotel." And Leah and Marley were like, "We'll stay with her." And I thought, okay, fair enough. He's left her thinking that she's with 2 other people. And yes, she tells them to rack off later on, and Marley does actually rack off. Leah manages to convince Lacey to let her come to the hotel with her, but then it's, for some reason, she's not there, later on when Holden actually pushes away, and Leah's gone by this point. She must have got an Uber back to the surf club or whatever, or the diner. I don't know what happened, but she's managed to, and part of me wants to blame Leah and Marley, and part of me wants to say, if that was my friend and this was happening to her and we knew this guy was out on bail and blah 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 blah, I wouldn't have left her at the hotel on her own. But I can't blame them, because ultimately it comes down to the fact that she's got a sister, she's got a dad who's a cop. Neither of them are putting her first. Joe's putting Tane first. Tane is not in danger right now. Tane's court case is next week. Yes, I get it, but Lacey is being actively stalked by a dangerous man, and she's still putting her boyfriend ahead of her sister. I mean, there's no excuse.
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah.
There's no excuse now. And David said, "I'll be right there. I'm just going to go and do this thing, and then I'll follow you to the motel." And then he doesn't. He goes back to the cop shop. He deals with this assault or whatever's happened back there. Then he gets broiled into. Joe turns up, doesn't she? And she's like, "Oh, and I've just spoke to Tane," and blah, 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 and the whole thing goes back to Tane again. And I'm like, David, your priority should be Lacey. And the only person I can blame is her family. Like, I can't blame Marley. I can't blame Leah. It's not their fault. It's not them. It's not their job to protect her. But her dad is a sergeant in a police station, and her sister is useless. I blame them. This didn't need to happen this way.
I'm with you. Yeah. If she had someone with her, it wouldn't have gone on.
It wouldn't.
Yeah. Oh God, it was so good though.
It was good.
It was good.
It was good drama. I'm glad they weren't there. I'm glad it did escalate to this much. I'm almost glad. I mean, it's terrible because I don't really want this for Lacey. I don't want her to be a murderer. I don't want her to carry this for the rest of her life and what have you. And it
Yeah,
has
what
got
happens now?
it's got a massive impact for her. But also, I'm like, yeah, but it's Sarge. It's all come back to Sarge and how crap a policeman he's been, how crap a dad he's been. And although I really like him, and I don't get as angry with him as you do, I'm like, but he deserves this. And for sight, take one for the team, David. You know what I mean?
That absolutely, yeah. I mean, where we go now will be very interesting. What's Sarge going to do about it? How? I mean, self-defense. They're going to. I assume they're going to go down.
They're going to have to. Where's her lawyer? You know, she got charged, right? So David said, "I'm going to have to arrest you," and says her rights.
Reads her rights, yeah.
Reads her rights. Takes her to the police station. Then there's the whole conflict of interest chat with Cash. Oh, I can't go in there. Conflict of interest. Yeah. He only said that for Cash's benefit. Let's be honest. If he wasn't there, he would have been in that interview room. But he sent Cash in.
Of course he would.
And I was watching this interview, and I was like, she's been charged and arrested for murder. And she's got no lawyer, and her dad is a cop. What?
And we know there's a lawyer going free.
Well, yeah, Jane's quit. So where's Jane? This was really weird. Why was she interviewed under caution with no lawyer?
I know.
Bizarre.
I know. It's almost like it's fiction.
It's almost like he's trying to set it up so that it's not a legally enforceable interview because she hasn't got a lawyer and she hasn't been told her rights.
Well, I wondered as well whether that's what he was up to when he arrested her.
Yeah. Yeah, he's planting seeds of this is not appropriate.
Yeah. And it's this is going to be all a nightmare at court and all the rest of it if it gets to that.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
He was at the scene, the investigating officer. Also, her father was at the scene, you know. So, there's quite a few avenues here.
That's true.
So, roll on Monday, I say, Soph. Roll on.
Yeah.
Honestly, the show's been so good this year.
It has.
And this is like, it's all happening.
Although we can pick it apart, and there are so many plot holes, and there are so many things that I probably would have preferred it to have gone differently and what have you. I am really enjoying the show this year, I'll be honest. I am enjoying the drama. It has given us so much to talk about. And long may it continue, because I hope the next storyline is as interesting and gives us as much.
Well, it better have been. Yeah, I agree.
Right, Si, it's time for your say on the bay.
My say on the bay?
Maybe, if we've got time. We'll see.
I'm out of breath.
I know, I'm tired. I'm tired now. I think I'm done with my say. Let's see what other people have got to say about this week's episode. Or episodes, I should say. So this is the part of the pod where we want to hear from you guys. You've just heard what we think of this week's shenanigans. Oh my God, bless you for getting through all of that. But we also want to hear from you guys, you lot listening right now. So if you want to get in touch with us, if you go to coastalnewspod.com and navigate your way to the Your Say on the Bay section, there's a form there where you can fill out your name and your thoughts on everything that happened in this week's drama in Summer Bay. And those thoughts get pinged straight to us. We can read them out next week, possibly, on this section of the podcast called Your Say on the Bay. But before I do that, a quick reminder, we are on social media. Social media, as JP says, search for us, Coastal News Podcast, at Coastal News Pod. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Twitter, etc., etc. And we also tweet along live. So we watch the show 6:30 till 7 p.m. Monday to Friday in the UK. And we jump on X or Twitter, whatever you're calling it. We use the Home and Away UK hashtag. And we talk to people that are watching the show during that half an hour, listen to what they've got to say, have conversations about what we're thinking about, what's happening as it unfolds, in front of our eyes. So if you want to do that, jump on there as well. But we have got forms to read out. So a few people have contacted us this week, and we're going to read out their thoughts. And the first person is actually a new form filler outer. Is that a word? I don't know.
Mhm.
A new person. I don't know what the word is. Carl. Hi, Carl.
Uru.
Uru, Carl, nice to hear from you. And Carl says, hey, Si and Sophie, just want to say thanks for the great work you both do on the podcast. Oh,
Oh, thank you.
that's very sweet. Thank you, Carl. Carl says,
Yes.
I'm in Ireland and I've been listening for the last couple of years. Wow.
Oh.
And you haven't got in contacts with us before. Carl, where have you been? Come on, 2 years. Come on. But we do appreciate you listening. Thank you so much for getting in contact with us, and thank you for.
And Ireland are a couple of days behind us, aren't they?
Ireland are, but I think it's whether you're in Ireland or Northern Ireland, isn't it? So I think.
Oh, they're not. It's still Channel 5 in Northern Ireland, isn't it?
I think
Republic
so.
is
I think RTE
RTE.
is Ireland, and then I think Northern Ireland is the same as us. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know where Carl
But of course,
is.
if he's watching on RTE, that is definitely like behind us, isn't it?
It's like 3 or 4 episodes behind us, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope we're not spoiling it too much if it is that, if you are watching on RTE, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You just say Ireland, so I'm not sure. Yeah. That's a good point. I don't know.
Sorry.
But thank you for listening for the last couple of years, and thank you for getting in touch with us.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very much appreciated, honestly. When anybody listens to us rattle on every week. I don't know why you do, but thank you very much. And Carl says it makes my watching of the show feel more communal. Well, that's exactly what we're doing, isn't it? That's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that was our mission.
Yeah. Because you and I got to be friends over Twitter, actually, didn't we? Because you started the podcast before I joined, and you were using back then the hashtag home and away on Twitter, and that's how I found you, because I didn't have anyone to talk about the show with, and you were there, and I just kind of chipped in, and then one week you said, do you want to come on the podcast and have a chat with me? And then I didn't leave, and that was like 4 years ago. So yeah, that's the communal sort of thing is what we were hoping for. That's why we do the tweet along every day when we watch the show. So I'm glad that you find that, from the podcast. That's really nice.
That makes me feel really nice, because like that's why we did it. So I'm really pleased you found us, Carl.
Yeah.
Thanks for your kind words. Yeah.
That's really cool. It's exactly what we set out to do, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. And there's more nice things, actually. So Carl says the chemistry and humor between both of you really makes the podcast so enjoyable to listen to each week, and I love having it as part of my weekend routine. Oh, that's so nice.
Thanks. Yeah, I get a little bit like, ooh, people talk about, because I think I'm funny. I have fun, but it's weird to me that people are listening, like having fun. Yeah,
you and I, we have such a laugh doing this, but we're like, people must think we're idiots because we've got
sometimes we're like.
Did we go too far? Are we a bit juvenile? And we don't expect everyone to find us hilarious. Like, we find ourselves hilarious, obviously. Like, yeah.
Someone's got to tell.
Someone has to, yeah. And because we're quite similar. Like, obviously, we find each other funny, but it doesn't mean everyone else does.
I know. Yeah. I think especially with a soap as well, I think sometimes you've got to sort of take the bait, can't you? It's part of the fun.
It's not meant to be serious viewing, is it? Although, if you listen to our podcast and the way that we talk about the show, and you could think that we take it super seriously, but actually, we're crying, laughing, and WhatsApp to each other every night at 6:30. So yeah, I'm just glad that you found us, Carl. So yeah, that's lovely. Thank you. Although there is a book coming. So although Carl has been super, super nice to us so far, there is a book coming, because he says a couple of things in relation to First Look. Oh my
Double-edged sword, this.
Carl is a First Look listener.
First Looker. Yes, that means he's
Wow.
heard us at our best. Uh,
Now is our time to be embarrassed. So yeah, we weren't sure. We should like preface this with we had a discussion, didn't we, at the beginning of the year? We weren't sure whether we were going to carry on with First Look because it wasn't that popular as it goes out on Sunday night. Our main podcast goes out on Saturday. First Look goes out on Sunday night, where we look at the synopsis. So if you haven't even heard of this, there's like a 20-minute, 30-minute weekly episode that we put out on a Sunday night, which is First Look. And we almost canned this, didn't we, at the beginning of the year? Because we were like, it's not very popular. It's just us making shit up. And usually it gets a bit daft and silly. But actually it's grown an audience this year. We don't know why. We don't know why, but
No.
people are listening to First Look now, which kind of makes me cringe because I'm like, it's probably the stain on the podcast community that we talk about as being, it's probably the most highlighted version of that you can think of. But Carl has admitted to listening to First Look in his message and says, I need to raise a couple of things with you about First Look. So we need to be listening to this because although there are a few people that are listening to First Look, we have got some criticism of our episode, which is not we're not shooketh, are we? Let's be honest, because that is we're expecting to be criticised over First Look. So first of all, Carl says, I tend to look at the spoilers and read and listen along as you read them out. Now that's adorable for a start. He's literally watching, like, listening to the podcast and then reading along with us as we're reading the synopsis. That's really adorable. But he says, I've noticed, for whatever reason, when it's his turn to read out the episode synopses, Si tends to skip a couple of lines every week. Now, this is news to me, doll. So, first of all, we have talked about this off air, haven't we, Si? And I said to you, well, that's understandable because, not being funny, by the time we do First Look on a Friday night, it's probably getting on to like 11 o'clock, midnight. We've had a couple of Vimtos by that point, and you know, reading is an issue. Anyway, skipping a couple of lines is probably not, it's probably accidental, but you admitted to actually doing it on purpose.
Yes, he's rumbled me, Carl. I'm not happy about this.
Explain yourself.
So, no, actually, there's a couple of things here is the reason. Sometimes it is time. Sometimes it's getting on for midnight. We've been on this for hours. I'm drunk. I'm tired. I've still got to then stay up. It takes me another 2 hours to edit, and I've got to get it all up and then try and get to bed. And this thing needs to be ready for 6 a.m. Saturday. So sometimes, if it's a bit long and it's not a very interesting line, I'll just skip it. Right. There are times when I like we're chit chatting away off on a tangent about a particular line, and I do sort of glance down and I just end up reading the wrong one again. Like I've read the wrong episode, and I just try and cover it up so it does, so it saves me in the edit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I start going, oh shit, no, sorry, go back. I've got to then. It takes me longer to edit, and I'm editing this thing at 1 o'clock in the morning. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, I'm sorry.
So we record as live, and I try. And if I've then missed, I've glanced back at my screen and read the wrong one, I just keep going because otherwise, if we start going back and trying to splice it too much, it just gets too time consuming. So there's that reason. And other times, because I know me and Sophie talk about this constantly, I'll see something and think, she won't want to know that. Like,
whereas I just read them out.
For her.
I do say spoiler alert when I read them out. I go, this is a bit of a spoiler, but you actually actively hide me from them, which is very sweet.
Yeah,
actually.
I do try and shield you from a few things.
I didn't know
that. But you're practically perfect, aren't you? Reading every single line. I've been rumbled. I
am Mary Poppins. No, I I'll be honest, I didn't realise this
Mm.
until Carl pointed it out, and then you were like, actually, I do this on purpose sometimes. I was like, oh, because I just said to you, well, we're so half cut by the time we get to first look, it's no wonder we skip stuff.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I struggle. Sometimes I've had to like ×3 my phone to read the line, because I'm like, I've had a couple of wines. So I can see why we might skip a few lines. But then when you said, actually, there's some stuff that comes up and I don't read it to you because I want you to be I don't want to spoil it for you. And it's already spoiled it for me because I've had to read it, in my head.
Yeah.
And then you've said, I've not read it out loud to try and, not spoil it for you. And that's really sweet. So I can't even be cross with you because I do spoil it for you. Because when I can't keep anything to myself. If I've read it out in my head, I've told you. So I just go, spoiler! And then I read the line. So, yeah.
I'm under the microscope now. Like, all the listeners are going to be reading along, aren't they? Keep it being checked now.
I think this is adorable. It's like Watch with Mother, like the whole read along while we read it out. It's so cute. I love this. But it does bring me on to my second point that Carl made about First Look. Because Carl also says, is there any chance that First Look could be posted earlier on Sunday? So for those of you that don't listen along to First Look, I mean, don't do it now. Save yourself. But we do put this out at like 6 o'clock on a Sunday, don't we, normally? Sunday night. And Carl would like this to be earlier on a Sunday because he'd like to have it while he's doing his Sunday walk. So that is the other question. And then also I'm sort of thinking, but Carl, if you're out walking, how are you going to read the synopsis along with us? If you're walking along.
I might just take you up on that then, Carl. Yeah.
He'll get away with it now, Carl. Yeah.
I mean, you're obviously on top of it. Some people, it takes them, the main pod. Not everyone listens straight away on a Saturday, but that could be something we could look at. If enough, let's say to people then, if you want it earlier, get in touch on the form and let us know. And let's see if enough people want it earlier. I'm sure we could sort something out.
If you are willing to admit that you listen to First Look and you want it earlier than we normally put it on, then get in touch. Let us know. Let us know.
And let us know when would be suitable, and we'll try and, if enough people want it,
we'll
have a look.
Yes. And Carl's end of the message says, I know both of those things are very nitpicky, but mostly I just want to say thanks again for giving us listeners a great podcast. That's very sweet. Thank you very much, Carl. Really appreciate you getting in touch. And you've given me some...
keep in touch.
Keep in touch, let us know. And you've given me some hilarity this week, because I had absolutely no idea that Si was doing this, and I found it really funny because I just assumed it was accidental. And then he was like, I've been rumbled. And I was like, what?
See, and you thought I couldn't keep a secret.
Well, I did. I thought you were as bad as Dana for holding your water. I'll be honest. So that's shocked me and also amused me greatly. So I've enjoyed this message a lot. I've learnt more about Si than I did know before. Yes, it's very sweet. I think it's very nice that you try and. I feel very bad that I don't try and hide you from the spoilers. I just go, here's a spoiler anyway.
Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's just dull. And I'm like, I can't be arsed reading that.
Fair enough.
But a lot of the time it is like, oh no, it's not. I don't want. If it is something nuts, like
yes.
I'll just leave that out because I'll let you watch it. But you've got to enjoy the show as well, haven't you?
No, and I don't give you the same courtesy. I am sorry. I just blurt out whatever's in front of me. So yes,
that's all right.
Our next form is from Emma. Hi, Emma. Thanks for getting in touch again.
Hooroo.
Hooroo. Good to hear from you again. Emma says, new intro and new images. Yes, definitely. Has everyone seen them? Let us know what you think, because I think they're still growing on me. I'll put it that way. I need to see them a couple more times, I think. Emma says, was that hotel lady half ninja? She disappeared so quickly, allowing Holden access to Lacey. Yeah. She was pretty... swift with the bento box. Yeah, not my problem. Bye. And then she ran off, didn't she? So yes, very quick. Super
half
fast.
ninja. I'm happy with that.
Half ninja delivery. Yes. She also says, where was the cop that was supposed to be looking after Lacey? In the motel. Yeah, I think she got there before the cop was even arranged, because David was faffing around talking to Joe for ages, and then he ended up doing that assault thing. I don't think he'd actually arranged for that cop to turn up yet. And I think he kind of assumed that she was still with Marley and Leah and it wasn't an urgency. A lot of assuming going on. Yeah. Didn't work out very well, did it, Dave? Anyway. And she says they're getting a lot of use out of that motel set. True. We've seen it a lot recently. Yeah, while it's up. I wonder what's down. Wonder what's been put down. Maybe Leah's house, because we've not seen Leah's house for ages, have we?
Leah's house.
No, we've heard
you mean
about
the Morgan house? Yeah.
Yeah, have we seen Leah's house recently?
Yeah, John's been there.
Oh, that's true. There must be the hospital.
Yeah,
no, we've seen the hospital, haven't we? What's not been?
I'll tell you what's down. Summer Bay House.
That's been down for ages.
Yeah, the apartment is down because we've not been there for a while.
The gym. Not seen the gym.
Yeah,
for a while.
That's never up these days.
No. Yeah.
Things like that.
Does make you wonder what's been put away to make the motel pop up again, doesn't it? Anyway. Interesting. Emma says, surely Sarge will let Joe know what has happened to R.E. Lacey sooner than the next morning. No, because she literally walks in the next morning and says, has she been in the cells all night? Either that or she's a terrible sister and she managed to get 8 hours kip with Tane knowing her sister had murdered somebody.
I know. Ridiculous, isn't it?
Honestly, she's the worst sister. This girl, I can't even. What? Yeah, I do hope that Tane drops her so fast on her ass that she doesn't see the stars spinning.
Well, he's gonna do a moonlight flit, isn't he?
He is, but she's ruining her relationship with her sister for the sake of holding Tane's hand, and then he's just gonna skip out to Perth on her ass.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
More
for her, yes. Surely self-defense in Lacey has been let down by the police? ? Yes. She has been let down by the police. Self-defense.
We suspect on purpose.
Yeah, self-defense is going to be difficult, isn't it, to prove? I mean, it's one of them he said, she said things, and he's dead, so he can't say anything. But even though he's dead, he's broken his AVO again. He's turned up at her hotel. He's inside her motel room. Sorry. There's a lot of assumptions that are going to have to be made about what happened in that room because he's not there to tell his side of the story and to whether it is self-defense. I think she's been let down because he's out on bail when he shouldn't have been, and I don't understand why he got bail.
No, it was another sort of us dying laughing in the week saying, I can't believe he's got bail.
Can't believe it. I mean, obviously he had to get bail for the plot because we wouldn't be here if he hadn't got bail. But because no one was in the room, no one went to the bail hearing that we know of. Like, obviously Sarge didn't go, Lacey didn't go, Joe didn't go because she doesn't give a frig about her sister. Leah didn't go, Marley didn't go. Like, all these people that have been supporting Lacey could have said to her, don't you worry about it. I'll go and sit on the bail hearing and I'll come back and I'll tell you what happened. You don't have to put yourself through it, but I'll go. Nobody went, so nobody knows. None of us know what happened during that bail hearing, why he got bail, what sort of Holden appeared. Because he must have appeared rational and calm and normal and unassuming and non-threatening in front of the magistrate for the magistrate to say, this guy's not a threat. Even though he's broken his AVO, he's broken into the sergeant's house twice.
Cooked a spag bowl.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, he wouldn't get bail, let's face it, but there must be some reason why he did. So she's been let down by the legal
poetic
system.
license.
Yeah, she's been let down. She
has.
Emma says, so Tane is going to skip bail and Cash will lose his 40k and he's going to hide out with Brax and his family in WA, ? Looks like it.
Pretty much. Yeah, in summary.
We are. I think she's shocked, and I think I'd say we were as shocked as you are, Emma,
Yeah.
about this
Yeah.
hop, skip, and a. What did you called it? A hop, skip, and a massive jump or something, didn't you? On WhatsApp this week.
I can't remember.
Yeah, you were like
Yeah.
hop, skip, and a huge jump to running away. Yes.
Mm.
And then the last line from Emma is love the podcast and keep first look. So
Another first look mention.
she's Emma's admitted to be a first looker as well, and she says it brightens up my Monday morning. So Emma's a Monday morning first looker, not a Sunday stroller as Carl is. And also Emma's got a question for us, and she says, "Is Coastal News Investigate still a thing?" That's the question for you.
Oh, it is. Yes, it is. It is. It's in. We've got the early stages of something coming. There are plans. Watch this space.
So, just for anyone that doesn't know, Coastal News Investigates is our sister podcast, isn't it? Where we do sort of special episodes, not the recap episodes that you get on the normal Coastal News podcast, but we've interviewed. Well, I say we. You've interviewed Dana. You've interviewed Sunny. You've done deep dive stuff into Marilyn. And what else have we done? I can't think. We've done loads of stuff on.
We've spoken to a new viewer, haven't we?
We've spoken to Marty, lead editor or assistant editor.
Yeah.
Whatever he is. Assistant editor.
Yeah. So getting some behind the scenes stuff. Yes, in a nutshell, Emma, we've got ideas and they're in the works. So just keep your eye out. Yes, we'll surprise you one day.
And me, because I don't know what's going on. That's good to know. Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. Keep listening to First Look. We appreciate it. We don't know why, but thank you very much. And thank you to everyone that gets in touch with us. So, without your input, without you telling us you'll say on the bay, there would be no you'll say on the bay. So we really do appreciate you getting in touch with and telling us what you think about the show, what you think about the podcast, good or bad. So yeah, keep going to coastalnewspod.com, navigate your way to the you'll say on the bay section, complete that form, and we might just read out your opinions next week.
Please take the time to like, subscribe, and review Coastal News wherever you source your podcasts, and ensure you never miss an episode.